Friendship is one of the most beautiful and enriching experiences in human life. It is built on trust, love, understanding, and mutual respect. But among all friendships, the most profound and transformative one is our friendship with God. This friendship transcends human limitations and connects us with the divine, offering us guidance, comfort, and unconditional love. Friendship with God is deeply personal, meaning it is unique to each individual and cannot be defined by external rituals or general practices alone. Unlike a formal relationship based on duties or ceremonies, this friendship grows from an intimate connection where one truly knows and understands God on a personal level. It is a relationship where God is not just a distant, abstract figure, but a living presence who interacts with us in our daily life. This personal bond allows us to experience God's love, grace, and guidance in ways that are tailored specifically to our own spiritual journey and needs. This personal nature of friendship with God also means that it evolves and deepens over time. It invites us to be honest over our fears, hopes, failures, and triumphs, knowing that it evolves and becomes more honest, hoping that encounters, no enchantments, interrupts. Really, this ongoing dialogue creates a sense of closeness and familiarity, making God feel like a true friend who is always near and cares deeply for us. Moreover, this relationship encourages individuality and freedom in how we connect with God. There is no one-size-fits-all approach or strict rule book to follow. Some may find this connection through quiet reflection, others through music, nature, acts of kindness, or reading sacred texts. The essence is that it is a heartfelt, sincere engagement with God, rooted in love and trust. This personal relationship thrives on authenticity. Fostering a genuine and unbreakable bond, the bridgetree of our faith to God, fostering a genuine and unbreakable bond. Finally, the personal nature of friendship with God means that it has a profound impact on our daily lives. It influences the way we see ourselves and others, giving us strength during hardship and gratitude during blessings. When we truly know God as a friend, life's challenges feel less daunting because we are supported by a presence that understands and cares beyond human limits. This closeness provides comfort, reassurance, and a steady source of hope that carries us through every season of life. It is in this deeply personal friendship that we find a foundation for living with purpose, courage, and peace. Trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful friendship, and the same holds true for our friendship with God. This trust is not blind or naive. Rather, it is Urito Bukunda. This has a complete understanding of the full picture to the seer. This is not blind or naive. Rather, it is a deep conviction, just as we rely on our close friends in times of need. Trusting God means surrendering our fears, doubts, and worries into His care, confident that He will uphold and guide us. Honesty is equally essential in cultivating this friendship. It calls for a willingness to be transparent and vulnerable before God, sharing not only our joys and successes, but also our fears, mistakes, and inner struggles. Unlike with human friends, we do not need to hide our flaws or pretend to be perfect in front of God. In fact, honesty deepens the relationship because it invites God to work within us to heal, restore, and transform. When we are truthful with God about who we are and what we feel, we open the door for genuine growth and spiritual maturity. Moreover, trust and honesty work hand in hand to build a resilient foundation that can withstand life's storms. There will be moments when circumstances challenge our faith or when answers seem delayed. In such times, the decision to continue trusting God, even in silence or uncertainty, strengthens the bond of friendship. Likewise, being honest about our doubts or questions does not weaken the relationship, but rather enriches it by allowing God to meet us where we are. This dynamic exchange cultivates patience, cultivates for deepening the friendship. Finally, building friendship on trust and honesty transforms how we relate to ourselves and others. As we learn to trust God unconditionally and be honest with Him, we become more authentic and compassionate in our human relationships. This divine friendship teaches us that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness, and that true trust can overcome fear and suspicion. It encourages us to extend the same grace and openness to those around us, creating communities rooted in love and understanding. Thus, the trust and honesty we cultivate with God ripple outward, shaping a life marked by integrity, faithfulness, and deep connection. Shaping currently, join a deeper connection with communication is the lifeblood of any friendship. And in our friendship with God, prayer and meditation serve as the vital channels through which this communication flows. Prayer is often understood as speaking to God, sharing our thoughts, feelings, desires, and needs openly and sincerely. It is a sacred conversation where we express gratitude for blessings, seek guidance in difficult moments, ask for forgiveness, or simply rest in God's presence. Through prayer, we cultivate a personal dialogue that deepens our awareness of God's love and our dependence on divine grace, creating an ongoing connection that nurtures our soul. However, communication with God is not only about speaking, it also involves listening, and this is where meditation becomes essential. Meditation invites us to quiet our minds and hearts, to be fully present and receptive to God's voice. In the stillness, away from the noise and distractions of everyday life, we can discern subtle insights, inspirations, and feelings that might otherwise be missed. This listening posture is a humble acknowledgement that God is actively present, speaking in ways beyond words, through intuition, peace, or gentle nudges that guide us toward wisdom and growth. The practice of prayer and meditation together balances the dynamic nature of communication, giving and receiving, just as in any meaningful friendship. While prayer allows us to pour out our hearts and be heard, meditation opens us to receive God's loving responses. Over time, this rhythm creates a deep sense of intimacy and trust, helping us align our will with God's and find clarity amid confusion. It also encourages patience and attentiveness as we learn that communication with God is not always immediate or loud, but often subtle and gradual, requiring a consistent, devoted practice. Furthermore, prayer and meditation shape our daily lives by grounding us in a spiritual awareness that transcends external circumstances. When practiced regularly, they transform our perspective, making us more centered, compassionate, and resilient. These spiritual disciplines remind us that we are never alone, fostering a sense of companionship with God that sustains us through challenges and joys alike. By dedicating time to both speaking and listening in this friendship, we cultivate a secret space within ourselves where God's presence can be continually felt, guiding our thoughts, actions, and decisions in profound and lasting ways. One of the most comforting and transformative aspects of friendship with God is His unconditional love. Unlike human love, which can sometimes be conditional or limited by circumstances, God's love is limitless and unwavering. This divine love is not based on our achievements, status, or even our flaws. It is freely given to us simply because we are His creation. Knowing that we are loved unconditionally offers profound peace and security, freeing us from the fear of rejection or judgment and allowing us to approach God with complete openness and confidence. God's unconditional love also means that His support is constant and dependable, no matter what challenges we face. Life is filled with ups and downs, moments of joy, and periods of struggle. In every situation, God stands by us as a faithful friend who never abandons or forsakes us. This support comes in many forms, sometimes through a feeling of inner peace, sometimes through the encouragement of others, or through the gentle prompting of our conscience. Regardless of the form it takes, God's presence is a steady anchor that helps us weather life's storms and keep moving forward. Moreover, experiencing God's unconditional love encourages us to extend that same love to ourselves and to others. It teaches us that forgiveness, acceptance, and grace are not just ideals but essential qualities to practice in our daily lives. When we truly grasp that God loves us despite our imperfections, it becomes easier to forgive ourselves for our mistakes. This love transforms relationships, creating a ripple effect that spreads kindness and understanding far beyond our individual friendship with God. Finally, God's unconditional love and support inspire hope and resilience, knowing that there is a divine presence that loves us without conditions, gives us the courage to face life's uncertainties and setbacks. It reassures us that we are never alone, even when we feel isolated or overwhelmed. This friendship empowers us to embrace life fully, trusting that God's love will sustain us through every trial and celebrate with us in every victory. It is a love that uplifts, heals, and renews, making the friendship with God a source of endless strength and comfort. One of the most profound blessings of friendship with God is the guidance and wisdom that this relationship provides. Life is full of choices, challenges, and uncertainties, and it is often difficult to know the right path to take. In this divine friendship, God serves as a loving guide, offering insights and direction that help us navigate the complexities of life. This guidance is not always explicit or immediate. Sometimes it comes as quiet nudges in our hearts, moments of clarity, or the gentle prompting of conscience. Yet, when we learn to listen and trust, we find that God's wisdom leads us toward decisions that bring peace, growth, and fulfillment. The wisdom we receive from God goes beyond worldly knowledge or human understanding. It touches the deepest parts of our being, offering perspective that considers not just immediate outcomes, but a greater good and eternal truths. This divine wisdom helps us discern what truly matters, guiding us to prioritize love, compassion, justice, and integrity over fleeting success or material gain. It encourages us to think beyond ourselves, fostering a mindset that seeks harmony and service to others.
Stop sama balaba.
Moreover, this guidance and wisdom are often communicated through various means: scripture, prayer, meditation, and the wise counsel of others. God may use these channels to reveal lessons or inspire actions that align with His greater plan for our lives. Developing this friendship means cultivating sensitivity to these messages and being willing to act on them, even when the path seems challenging or uncertain. The more we trust in God's guidance, the more we grow in confidence and peace, knowing that we are not alone in making important decisions or facing difficult circumstances. Finally, God's guidance and wisdom foster patience and humility within us. We learn that understanding does not always come quickly, and that sometimes the best course is to wait and be open to God's timing. This teaches us to surrender our need for control and to rely on a higher wisdom that surpasses our limited perspective. Through this process, our friendship with God deepens, shaping us into individuals who are more thoughtful, compassionate, and resilient. It is a relationship that continually directs us toward growth, healing, and a fuller expression of our true selves. One of the most profound effects of developing a friendship with God is the transformation it brings to our character. Flourish. Such a profound effect of becoming better versions of ourselves. When we open our hearts to God's influence, we begin to cultivate virtues such as confirmation, compassion. These qualities are not simply moral ideals to aspire to, but living expressions of the friendship itself, reflecting the nature of God's love within us. Forgiveness is a key part of this transformation. Through our friendship with God, we learn to forgive not only others but also ourselves. We come to understand that holding on to resentment or guilt only weighs us down, whereas forgiveness frees the spirit and restores peace. God's example of unconditional love teaches us to extend grace even when it is difficult, encouraging healing in relationships and within our own hearts. This capacity to forgive transforms conflicts and hurts into opportunities for growth and reconciliation. Humility is another vital aspect shaped by our connection with God. True humility is not about diminishing ourselves, but about recognizing our limitations and dependence on a higher power. This understanding helps us shed pride and selfishness, allowing us to serve others with a sincere heart. As our character is transformed, we become more open to learning, more accepting of our flaws, and more willing to put others before ourselves. This humility fosters deeper empathy and kindness in our interactions, enriching both our inner lives and our communities. Lastly, the transformation brought by friendship with God creates a ripple effect in how we relate to the world around us. Compassion grows naturally as we become more attuned to God's love and mercy. We begin to see others not as obstacles or competitors, but as fellow travelers, worthy of dignity and care. This new perspective motivates us to act with generosity, patience, and respect. Over time, the character shaped by this divine friendship becomes a beacon of hope and goodness, inspiring others and reflecting the transformative power of God's love in everyday life. One of the greatest gifts of friendship with God is the deep sense of purpose it instills within us. The greatest gifts of purpose, it instant our life aligned with values. This friendship helps us discover why we are here and what we are called to do, guiding us toward a life aligned. When we walk in friendship with God, our purpose becomes clear. Not just to seek personal happiness, but to serve others, grow spiritually, and contribute to the greater good. Alongside purpose, this friendship brings a profound peace that calms the turmoil within our hearts. Life inevitably presents challenges, losses, and moments of doubt, but the presence of God as a faithful friend reassures us that we are not alone. This peace is not merely the absence of conflict. It is an inner stillness, rooted in trust that God is with us in every circumstance. It allows us to face difficulties with courage and patience, knowing that there is a greater plan at work. This peace sustains us through trials and renews our strength, enabling us to remain grounded amid life's storms. Joy is another remarkable fruit of friendship with God. This joy is not dependent on external conditions or fleeting pleasures, but springs from a deep, abiding relationship with the divine. It is a joy that fills our hearts even in times of struggle because it is rooted in love, gratitude, and hope. This spiritual joy uplifts our spirit and inspires us to celebrate life's blessings, big and small. It is contagious and radiates outward, touching the lives of those around us and fostering a sense of community and belonging. Together, purpose, peace, and joy form a foundation for a fulfilled and meaningful life. The friendship with God nurtures these qualities within us, helping us rise above the superficial and transient distractions of life. It invites us into a transformative journey where our existence is marked by clarity of vision, calmness of spirit, and a radiant happiness that transcends circumstances. This divine companionship offers a path to living authentically and fully, embracing both the challenges and blessings that life brings. To conclude, friendship with God is a priceless treasure that enriches every aspect of our lives. It offers us a personal connection filled with trust, honesty, and open communication, grounded in unconditional love and unwavering support. This friendship guides us with divine wisdom, transforms our character, and fills our journey with true purpose, deep peace, and lasting joy. Embracing this relationship allows us to live with hope and resilience, knowing that we are never alone. Accumulating our friendship with God, we discover the true meaning of life and the boundless love that sustains us through all seasons.